Hey guys, what's happening? It's Yankee down here, and today I'm going to talk about my deck building with Doctor Strange Protection. So, as usual, what I do is I go through all the hero cards and I look at the traits and also look at Doctor Strange's traits and what he can do. So, he's an Avenger, he's a Mystic. He's got very poor attack, but his sword and his defense is okay. So I throw in the three basics of energy, strength, and genius. Then I'll throw in one copy of the Power of All of Us. That way you can use that to pay one card for pay two for a basic card. Then I'll throw in two copies of spiritual meditation. I'll throw in a copy of endurance. Team building exercise. I'll put one copy in that. That way I can reduce my cost of supports and allies by one as long as they share the Avenger trait or Mystic trait. And then a copy of Sorcerer Supreme, so you can play Power of All of Us just to play Sorcerer Supreme, because this account has two resources because you're playing for a basic card. Same thing with Spider-Man. Even though Spider-Man's a champion, but you just have to pay one more resource, so you can use Agamotto or another card out of your hand to pay for Spider-Man. Quinn Carrier, you can use Quinn Carrier and just use Power of All of Us and Team Building Exercise to pay for that, because Quinn Carrier has an Avenger trait. Wong, you can use Team Building Exercise to reduce his cost, so you're going to cost him 2 because he's a Mystic. Brother Voodoo is a Mystic and an Avenger, so you can use Team Building Exercise to only pay for 2 for him. Clee's a Mystic, so you can just pay use Team Building Exercise to pay 1. Nova, he's a pretty good ally. You could just spend an energy to deal 2 damage when an enemy starts an attack. Then I'll put in a copy of Night Nurse just to get rid of either stun or confused. I'll put a copy of the Armor Vest in to boost my defense up. And I'll put a copy of Electrostatic Armor because whenever you defend, you get to deal 1 damage back, so it's like a retaliate. And then I'll put in one copy of Nerves of Steel. This will give you an energy resource for a defense event. Then I'll put 2 copies of Desperate Defense in. So that's only 1 cost. You can use Nerves of Steel to pay for Desperate Defense. And so when your hero defends against an attack, you get +2 defense for this attack. And if you take no damage from this attack, you get rid of your hero. One thing about Doctor Strange, he loves. He loves. I mean, just like every other hero, they are more effective when they're ready. But he's really effective when he's ready because he can just thwart. You can ready him. You can use your incantations, especially when you have your cloak out. When you have your cloak out, and you can use one of these cards, he can be really not do some damage to somebody. Then I have 2 copies of Sidestep. That way, when you take any amount of damage, you can prevent 3 of that damage. And if you pay for this card using an energy resource, you get to deal 1 damage to an enemy. So you can use There's a Steel to pay for Sidestep. That way you prevent 3 damage. And then because you're using Sidestep as an energy, you get to deal with damage back. Then I have 2 copies of Never Back Down. Now that's also 1 cost, and that has the hero runner up, so that when you defend against an attack, you get +2 defense for this attack, and if you take no damage from the attack, you get to stun the attacking enemy. So if you defend with 2, you got Armor Vest out, there's 3. This gives you 5. 9 times out of 10, you should prevent all the damage and able to stun the enemy. Same thing with Desperate Defense. It gives you +2 defense, so you can have 2 with the Armor Vest is 3. That gives you 5. You shouldn't take any damage with that, and then you should be able to raid back up. And because you don't take any damage, I have 1 copy of Inflammable. That way, after you defend and attack, and you don't take any damage, you get this awesome Inflammable and draw a card. So the more cards you have, the better. That's pretty much the rundown. Just the main goal of this deck is just to try to get Doctor Strange constantly ready by using Desperate Defense. And then we'll have that and the cloak out so you can always ready him and so he can do his thing. And another good thing about this deck is it's really cheap. I mean, the most events, the highest cost event or even the highest cost card is a 4, which is Nova, and I believe it's out of the 40, almost half of it is cost 2. So it's a decent deck. You know, I've actually decided most of my decks I just put together, throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. I really don't test it. I actually tested this one out against Claw, Masters of Evil, and I was able to take him down. So I'm pretty confident this would be a good deck. And so other than that, that's pretty much the rundown of the deck that I have for Doctor Strange Protection. Um, Feel free to leave a comment, leave your thoughts. If you know a way, if you want to prove it, you can check this out or whatever. Because most of my decks I have Avengers Mansion in. This one I didn't put Avengers Mansion in because usually when I've been playing it, I haven't been using it. So it's a dead card, so I might as well get rid of it and see what else will happen and see if something else will stick. So other than that, that's the video, man. And go ahead, like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button when I put out new content. And don't forget to share and spread the word on the channel. Other than that, you guys take care. Have a good day.